Milsurp Garage. All right, still on the heels of this ammo reorganization. Man, that was way overdue, and I ran into a bunch of stuff that I didn't even really know I had. You know, like this. I just thought this stuff would be interesting for a video. So as far as my 8mm, I always was a little bit curious as to what I had for 8mm. I knew I had this tub right here on stripper clips, right in the drawer. Show you what that is in a minute. But I found a couple of things that were kind of interesting. I never really knew how much 8mm I had. It was always just kind of like a question. Haven't had the 8mm Mausers out in a while. But I found this, which is a tub of, it's written on the top here, Hurtenberger. So this stuff was, I had gotten a bunch of this, and I shot it years ago, like when I first got my Mauser. My 1930, is it a 36? My 1936 K98. Gotta take that thing out. Gotta do a video on that thing soon, just to like give it a little refresh. Show that thing again under you know, the more detailed camera, the better resolution camera. But this Hurtenberger stuff kind of came along with it. It was like sort of like part of the sale. It was like, hey, I got this stuff to go with it too. I had maybe, this is maybe 25% of it left. Just this. It's just this one tub here. And reading online now and looking into it, it's probably not even a good idea, believe it or not, to shoot this stuff. It's boxer primed, so it's reloadable, so the cases are known to be very good. However, this stuff is known to be super hot. And not only that, supposedly that the powder, as the powder aged, that it got even hotter. How that's possible, I don't know. Somebody that's into reloading and powders might be able to tell you, but I definitely saw it on at least a couple of different mentions online about how it's hot and you have to be careful for it because it has a tendency to get even hotter, higher pressures. But something cool that I thought I should mention, this is why I even bring it out, because check this out. This is pretty cool. So you see the head stamps are 8 by, I can't even read it myself. What does it say? 8 by 57 JS. And it says 83. All this stuff is 83. There's supposedly billions of rounds of it all made. It's all 83. But it's this, it's 8 by 57 JS. And if any, I've seen that before on ammo, and if anybody is curious as to what the JS, the significance of that, here's what I found. And I didn't know this. I just like kind of found this now, poking around, looking at this, like, you know, looking at this stuff. Originally in World War I, the German army used a bore diameter of 0.318, and that was called the J bore. And then later on, Germany used a projectile or a bore of 0.323, which is the S bore. And I had heard of that. You see that there's a lot of rifles that they're marked with an S on it, which would mean that they were made for the larger bore, whatever. You know, like I've definitely seen that before. But the JS on the ammo, I have seen that also, but never really seemed to put it together. So if you're like me and you've seen that JS, wondering what it was for, that basically, that basically means that this ammo is safe to fire in both rifles. So 1983, that's weird, right? I thought so much of this would be made in 83. Who knows where it was made and who it was made for? More research that would be needed, but that's probably going to be put in the archives right there. I don't think I'm going to shoot it. I think and this is the reason why. If I had to like worry about that, I don't have that much 8mm. So then these I always had knocking around, and I knew what this stuff was. This stuff is, do I have the paper in here? Usually I cut out part of the box. I do not, but actually I'll show it to you in a moment. This is, it's called SMA 8N, 8mm Mauser, Yugo M75 sniper ammo. I do have a video on it from ages ago. And I like these. These are the nice stripper clips that have the two-piece, whatever. Not just the actual clip. It actually has the springy flat piece. I like those. So this stuff, it has a interesting, like a violet. Not that good with colors, but you see that. It's kind of like a violet blue, I guess you could go into. And you could see the PPU head stamp there. 1999. And this was all the rage back in the day, I remember. This was the 8mm to get. And I could have sworn I remembered buying a whole bunch of this. And that's why looking through the ammo stash, I was like, it was all in little white boxes. And I'm like, what happened to it all? Could I possibly have shot it all? I guess even years ago, I had thought, I guess I shot all of that. It seemed like I had bought a lot. I was like, how is that even possible? So I'm like, yeah, well, it is quite a bit here. And this is all put on stripper clips. So I'm like, you know, all right, I guess I did shoot it all. And then, so going through my stuff, I found this. And this woke me up to the understanding. Sorry. That it was certainly not gone, and that this is the big ammo can. I mean, this is the PPU M1 Grand ammo can, you know, the one where you buy the ammo can with the ammo in it, and this thing is full with this M75. So apparently, without even remembering that I did it, this is where, you know, I'll cut off the box. I also put one on the lid here. So I prepared. I don't. Somehow this just escaped me. I did make it plainly obvious what I was doing. It's inside. It's outside. Like as if I know myself, and I knew that I would miss it. But this is the from the box, and I can't just have all those boxes like that. That's why after a while, they don't really stand up so well. One on top of each other, you know, and they were all falling all over the place, and you could see how much of it I actually had. Was a lot of it. So I just consolidated it down into one of these after emptying out a whole bunch of 3006, because I remember there was a year where I was just grinding like crazy, you know, and then I got the 03 Springfield, so I was buying this stuff, and that's where this ammo can went. So that's a full ammo can. That's a lifetime of this stuff. I'm sorry, but it is. This that's it. That and these stripper clips. This is enough stripper clips for a day at the range. That's it. So let's see. I can give you some info on it. This stuff is gone too. It's just forget about it. You can't. I looked around to see if I could find it. It's like you could see the ads from like years ago and everything like that, but finished. Let's see. Spectacular. It says, made by Prvi Partizan in the late 90s, it is the most spectacular 8mm Mauser surplus ammo we've ever had. And this is coming from, who is this? This is from gunwinner.com. And this is an archived page. It's funny, it still has a buy now button, and when you click on it, like you crash the website. It is not your standard Milsurp third-rate ammo. This ammunition compares to or exceeds current commercial production in terms of accuracy, quality, and price. It's brass case, Burdan primed, lead core, copper jacketed, 196 grain bullet, no steel anywhere, loaded with the finest Belgian powder. It has a special annealed brass case. See the anneal mark in the picture. Yeah, it is annealed. And the annealing, from what I understand, actually, you know, softens it. It softens this part of the case. You could see the color change from like here up, and that softens this, so you don't get the splits on the neck down there. comes packed in a 15-round white box marked M75, which is sniper ammo, and it's packed in a 1,260 round hermetically sealed case. That must have been what I bought. It was designed for extremely accurate and reliable shooting. It's probably non-corrosive, okay. But buy it and assume it's corrosive. That's true. I mean, I always clean the guns good anyway. I don't know about that whole Windex nonsense. I think if you just ballast all the crap out of it and really clean it good till your patches come out clean, you know what I mean? But that's a whole other argument, I guess. But I always clean them like crazy regardless. So I treat it even if I know for sure it's non-corrosive powder, I'm cleaning it like it as if it's corrosive. Because, you know, I'm just clean the gun nut. I like cleaning the guns. So that's why I clean them good. Because I actually like to. And where'd that other one go? What did I take? One off of every stripper clip? How did that even happen? Anyway, so that's the 8mm. Was there anything else? There's actually I just really honestly have absolutely nothing else. No other 8mm at all. There was just these two. But I thought that's interesting because I thought this Hertenberger was gone. I really thought this is all I had in 8mm. So I'm kind of glad to go through it all and see that there was this big huge box. And this is some interesting info off of there too, if anyone knows how to decode these Yugo ammo boxes. But yep, that's it. I'll come back with one more ammo thing, because there is one other thing that I found that's blowing my mind up, and I think you guys would find it interesting. So it's a race between whether I'm going to do a gun video or another ammo video. And you know what? It's only 6:42. See how much energy I have this evening. See you all soon.